And so I'm like, what's something that I can do? Like I didn't work a lot of weekends. I did. I always liked dirt bikes, so I went and got a dirt bike. And then obviously with that, I wanted to start competing, so I just rode as much as I could. Started doing local races around here. That grew into the 1 year I did like 25 races in 9 states.
Welcome back to another episode of Intrepidus Podcast with your hosts, Dan and Anthony, episode number 51 with our good friend, James McGettis. Welcome to the show, James.
Thank you, Anthony. Nice to see you. Good to be here.
Same. Nice to have you on. The first ever guest on our show who is not a business owner. So tell the viewers exactly what it is that you do.
So I work for a company that's ESOP, so technically I am part owner in the company that I work for. But I sell big industrial fasteners, nuts, bolts, anchor bolts, fabrications, anything to utilities, DOT, steel contractors, all that kind of stuff. It's been good. You know, it gives me a lot of opportunities and freedoms. I'm here with you guys now, which is awesome. And yeah, it's been very good.
Yeah, it's actually one of the things I noticed when we were talking about, hey, this is actually the first person who doesn't technically own 100% of their company and hasn't really developed anything from start to finish, except for the YouTube channel, which we'll touch on.
Yeah.
But you're here, right? It's in the middle of the day. You're able to be here, which means that you are granted some sort of freedoms like a business owner. So that's a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
Very, very difficult to do unless you do own your business. But other than that, tell us a little bit about YouTube channel, because that's something that I'm really interested in.
The YouTube channel started about 2 years ago now, and it's kind of been like a slow start, and then you just compound it like anything else. You like compounding, start as much as you can, just doing it on your free time, and then the more you're filming, the more you're getting into it, the more content you have, the more videos you can start putting out. And grew it from 0 to we're at like 640 subscribers right now, and it's surfing product reviews. I just had a bunch of surfboards, so I don't know if we want to go into like starting of my life and all that now.
Yeah, let's talk about you talked about this earlier. You grew up without a father, and you talk about that story. Let's talk about the things that you were doing competitively, obviously to get you in a place now where you're part of a business and you're part owner, because obviously you have that competitive advantage in your life. Yep. So take us back to the little boy James and where you were to where you are.
Yep. So little boy James got his we'll start. Little boy James had a single mother. My father left when I was about 7 years old. Fled the country, went to Greece. So it was just me, my mom, my sister. And I can never say that we were poor because my mom just like grinded, face on the stone, just going. Gave me and my sister every opportunity, everything that we ever wanted. Anything we asked for, she did her best to get us something or something similar. I played hockey. I didn't get to play travel hockey because that was one of the
expensive
things you can't. Yeah, it's expensive and you can't do it with a single mom really. But I got to play house league all growing up. I played a couple tournament teams. Played in high school. Played club in college. So that was a big part. But yeah, my neighbor was having a yard sale and there was a $45 surfboard there. My mom was like, "That's all me and my sister wanted to do is be at the beach," which we were. My mom grew up at the beach. And we got this $45 surfboard and just taught myself to surf and kept going. When I turned 14, I got my first job at Eastern Line Surf Shop in Belmar. Still, like, my office is right next door to there now, so I'm still involved to a pretty good extent with helping them out or just being around, So that was my first job. I worked there till I was 18. Surfed, did a little bit competitively, but mainly, like, surfing, you're just competing for the best wave in the ocean, you're like, especially being competitive. Graduated high school, and my best friend growing up, his father had a big steel company, nationwide company, started it on his own, bet against himself, or made a bet with himself that he took this bank loan, he was going to flip rail cars of steel and be able to pay the next bank loan, get a bigger one, and keep doing that, and it snowballed into the big company it is now. And me and my best friend worked for him. Graduated high school, he sent us to North Carolina, just me and him and my friend's cousin, to work at his steel plant. He wasn't there. We had our own little house. So we're just like 18 going back and forth to work every day. And I'm lucky I had him to like make sure I was at work every day and up to go, because I'm like, oh, no one's here to tell me what to do. This is great, Finding ways to get beer, we're hanging. And like living like adults at 18 years old, it was kind of cool. and just kept working for him every summer. Then I went to college, and every summer I just kept working for his business. And graduated college, had an opportunity to become a leader in his company. He was like, hey, we bought this new division in Philadelphia. We have no clue what it is. Do you want to go run it? And I was like, yeah, like, are you kidding me? I would love to. Oh. So I'm living in Howell, and I'm commuting to Philly every day. It was like a 90-mile one-way commute.
Wow. Doing
180. I think that 2 years I put 50,000 miles a year on my truck, which they provided a vehicle for me, but 50,000 a year, I was doing that and like working insane shifts because, like I said, I always take ownership of things, and I'm competitive. So like the business was just growing and growing, and it was like baptism by fire. And I remember sometimes I'd put in like 26-hour shifts. I'd work with the night shift, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna go home just to come back in like 3 hours. Like I'll just
stay here.
Yeah, just stay here and keep working. And like because we were doing stuff for the utilities, so it's like if you have like a blackout date or something like that, you have to make that deadline. There's like no other way around it. So, and that's what I just treated it like it was mine. And I was like, there's no other way around it. We just got to get it done. I'd be driving people to like Chester and stuff like after their shift. Like I'm like, anyone who wants OT, work as long as you want. When you're ready to go home, get in my truck, we'll go. I'll drive you home. No worries. Like just give me whatever you got left in you. And like, I don't know, it was awesome. I still get calls from some of those guys like, man, we did a lot of work. We did good, I'm like, we did, that was fun. Learned a lot. That's when I started going gray, actually, was running that plant. Everyone says my kids, and I'm like, no, this is strictly
before your kids.
Yeah.
So fast forward, you ended up leaving that company, right?
Yeah. I did. I put my time in, Well, we wanted to talk about like dirt bikes and competing and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm doing all that work, and like when there's waves, you can't go surf if that's what you're doing. So I'm like, what's something that I can do? Like if like I didn't work a lot of weekends, I did, but I'm like, what's something that I can do every weekend regardless? And it's like, I always liked dirt bikes, so I went and got a dirt bike. And then obviously with that, I wanted to start competing, so I just rode as much as I could, started doing local races around here, and then like that grew into the one year I did like 25 races in 9 states, Wow. So that's really cool. But I think out of everywhere that I've been and all the sports and stuff that I've done, I think like dirt bike racers are the most competitive. And when I have my business, like I'm going to make sure I hire kids that were like good at racing. Cause if you can sit there on a line with 20 to 40 people and look around and know that you're going to be the first out the gate, that's like a special skill that can't be, that's like, you can try and work on it and teach it, but that's something you just have or you don't,
You're still avidly riding dirt bikes?
Yes. Yeah. My 4-year-old has been riding since he's 2 on like the e-bikes and stuff. And this year he got his first gas bike. So I think we're going to wait probably till the fall. It cools down a little bit. He'll be at Englishtown this year racing.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Explain first out the gate.
They call it the whole shot, is the first to the first turn and through the first turn. Mm-hmm. So you got 40 bikes. What's separating, like, especially in amateur racing, I think there's only so much you can do to a bike to make it competitive. I think the rest is the wizard, not the wand. Mm-hmm. And I like to be the first through that first turn. And there was a season where I had almost every whole shot in the like season, almost every race. And like I would get on that line and just know exactly what I had to do to be that first guy there. And I just like almost knew I was gonna. And the ones that I didn't, the bike didn't start, because hare scrambles endurance racing is a dead engine start where the bike is off and you have to start it and go. Motocross, you're sitting on the gate, the bike's running, it's warmed up, and you just have to go. So, but like, and they like you listen to pros talk and they say like a lot of it's just confidence. It's knowing that they're going to be the first ones. Because a lot of guys too, like especially once you get into professional level racing, it is a lot about equipment. Like if the best guy is not comfortable with his bike, he's not getting first place. There's very seldom especially now, they just don't feel comfortable. They don't want to risk it because they're going that fast and they're going that hard. So anything's not right to them. It's not worth it. There's another race next weekend. Come back.
Any fear of injuries when you're out there, or are you just like
not really? Yeah,
Any injuries? Have you had?
I've had nothing serious. Nothing serious. I've sprained my wrist, but I was back. Nothing dirt biking that was serious. No, knock on wood. But I also got into it a lot later.
You still surf?
Yeah. I fast forward after that, I got to where I am now. Left my old company, got this great position with this new company. My office is right on the beach, so if there's waves, I'm surfing 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'm in the office by 8:30, grinding away, and then if it's good when I'm done, I'm right back out, you know?
That's awesome.
So what got you started with the YouTube channel? Like, why exactly? What is it that you do on the YouTube channel, first off?
Yeah.
And then why did you choose that?
So it's surfing product reviews. I review surfboards, fins, wetsuits, kind of a little bit of everything that has to do with surfing. It's my second YouTube channel, actually. I started one like during COVID when everything was shut down and we were riding every weekend. Like that's when I met you. I was just like flipping all this dirt bike shit that I had, you know, excuse my language. But, and that's,
I don't even remember what I bought you off you, like goggles or a shirt or something.
Yeah, it was for the kids.
Yeah,
and then I was talking, like shooting the crap with the kids in the parking lot. And,
my kids were little.
Yeah, they were really little.
Yeah.
And we just like would ride every weekend somewhere new. We were in all the pits around here, you know, Jackson, all the way down to Manahawkin. And I would just film it, like me and my friends riding all the time and just put it up there. And like, I'm not the best at marketing myself, so to speak, to grow it, you know? I'm more just like organic growth. I'm like, if people want to watch it, they're going to watch it. There's no reason for me to force someone to watch this, you know?
So I remember we met in Woody's parking lot.
Yeah.
You had like a Toyota pickup or something?
I had the Dakota. That was my 50,000 mile a year truck.
Yeah, so you had like a little pickup truck. I bought like maybe like a jersey or something.
Yeah.
And some goggles off. I remember my kids, bro, they were probably like 13 and 14 or something, like little.
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, we were bullshitting in the parking lot. And we ended up staying in touch. Now my son powder coated stuff on his dirt bike years later.
Yeah, I did a crazy build. I did a build competition, and he did the swing arm for me, powder coated it.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? Like how things just turn
Full
out.
circle.
And I think my Google review is one of his best ones. I still get emails like, you've hit this many like responses on
Nice.
your Google review.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
I always
helped
send
this
him a
many
screen.
people.
I send him a screenshot. I'm like, yo, check it out.
Well, yeah, I told him you were going to be on a podcast. He goes, oh man, I wish I could be there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like your life now. You know, married, kids. We talked a little bit offset that you know, your friend's father, who's kind of like your mentor and your father throughout life.
Yeah.
You know, he's pushing you to own your own business, and
Yeah.
you know, why haven't you done that? And you know, what's life doing for you right now that you're in your comfortable spot?
Yeah, you know, I think like I always was meant to be a business owner, an entrepreneur. You know, I have that like spirit where I just love building good business, and I love good business, and I love people. And that's one thing, like now I'm in sales. I always say I'm not a salesman. I'm not calling someone, telling them they need to buy this from me. I'm like, people are coming to me with a need, and I'm fulfilling their need, and I'm giving them great service while doing it. So I don't consider myself a salesman, but I just love the interaction with people, helping people, and like providing a need ultimately, you know? Yeah. But yeah, my best friend's dad, he was like a dad to me, you know, really took me under his wing, showed me all that. And he's just been saying, when are we starting your business? You know, when are we doing that? And lately he's been backing off on it because he realizes like how lucky I am to have what I have. I'm home every night for dinner with the kids. You know, I probably travel once a quarter right now, and it's not mandatory. It's like stuff that I want to do and the company wants me, you know, we combined want to do it. Like going to do a trade show in the fall, which I really enjoy, getting out and actually seeing the faces that you're emailing or calling every day, you know. But yeah, I'm home every night for dinner with the kids. I'm really like having an impact on raising my children. I get to take both of them. You know, my wife is phenomenal. I have the best wife. She's basically when you have kids and people are like, oh, you're losing sleep, all this. I was like, no, my wife always understood that I was the one that had to go to work, and I didn't have boobs to breastfeed the kids, you know? So like she did all that, and I just got to sleep, got to go to work, got to come home, and she really did a really good job of raising the kids and taking care of them in that aspect and allowing me to work and not lose the sleep. But I really do have a big father impact. I don't know if it's because I didn't have my father. And I always say I have a really good example of what not to be. But yeah, I don't know.
How are things with your mom and sister now, years later?
My sister still single, but she's a teacher in Cranberry, actually. She's doing really well. My mom's still working. She works in the healthcare industry, has a very good job for herself. They live in Brielle together still, but yeah, they're good. They're good.
Good.
You know, my
Younger
mom.
sister?
What's that?
Younger sister?
Older. We're 11 months apart.
11 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So for
Wow. Irish twins, is that what
3
they call
weeks, we're the same age.
But me and my brother are 1 year and 3 days.
1 year and 3 days.
Yeah.
They called Irish twins?
Irish twins.
Irish
Yeah.
twins.
But within what? First like 18 months or some shit like that?
Yeah, I think it's like 12 months or something.
Yeah.
12 months.
Less than a year.
Yeah,
Less than a year.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna go see my Irish twin nephew and niece in 5 days. Really
That's
excited.
awesome.
Yeah, they're Irish twins. Couldn't help himself, I guess. So it seems like the decision not to, because you seem very entrepreneurial, right? It's just the way you carry yourself, you know, talking about the YouTube channel, you're starting out of early age, traveling on your off time to another state to work in the summers,
Yeah.
like doing all these things that typically we see in a lot of entrepreneurs. So it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, or elaborate if you would, on, you know, why make this choice and not start a business from scratch.
Right. I've seen what it takes. I'm not saying I've been there, done that. I'm just saying I've seen what it takes. I've been on the road. I've started businesses for someone else. And I've also traveled with him, just us two, and I've seen what he does and his insane schedule and like the phone nonstop, you know, and I'm just like, I was ready for it at one point, and then once as my kids got older and I'm more with them, I'm like, I don't need that right now. You know, maybe when they're older. And like I think that's a lot of thing too, like retirement age when the kids kind of leave, which I'll still be pretty young when my kids are like 18, 16 and they don't want to hang out with me anymore. Hope that day never comes. Hope they'll always want to hang out with me. But they're off doing their own thing, you know?
Right.
So like maybe that'll give me the time to that's when it's time to, you know, get down and dirty and just
Ray
do it.
Kroc started after 50. You know, why not?
There's been
I
a
was gonna say, I
bunch.
respect
So
that.
a lot of
Yeah.
people. A lot of people.
I respect
I
that
think it's
decision.
important to know that, like, number one, you love what you do.
Yep.
Number two, you're getting paid very well for doing what you're doing. You've got an extremely flexible schedule.
Yep.
You have the time of your kids. You can still do your hobbies. You're doing more than 90% of people who are ever employed will ever do, and having the ability to do so. Your boss is calling you now, want to know why you're not at work.
While you're on the podcast right
Yeah,
now.
sorry. I would put that on.
But here's
I
how
thought I
flexible
did.
he is. He was originally scheduled for like 2:30. And I'm like, bro, we messed up with scheduling. Can you do one? Yeah, no problem.
Love
You know
that.
what I mean? Like that's.
Well, he's a surfer. He's whenever, bro. You know?
But he was on time though.
I don't know. If I was a surfer, I would have said one and been like, no, you said 2:30.
I got you some swells, man.
Nah, dude, that was you.
Does your wife work or no?
She does not.
Okay.
She does part-time swim lessons at the Y to get us a membership at the Y for the family.
Awesome.
But that's like maybe once or twice a week at
that's
night
cool.
time. She goes
That's
and does some swim lessons. So
Yeah, I think that's really admirable, actually, and it really put into perspective because we never had someone like you on the show. But to say, I know I could do this thing, I fucking choose not to, and this is why. Where we run into people all the time. It's like excuse after excuse after excuse, of crying about not making enough money and being home late and doing this and the boss sucks, and it's like you always asking the question, then fucking do something about it.
Yeah.
Or you tell them, do something about it. What are you gonna do about it? Oh, well, I can't because this, that's it's all about excuses.
yeah.
James is the complete opposite. It's like, I know I could do that.
super mellow, bro. You know, imagine we
he's
had
just
employees like him.
You're hired right now. If,
I always say I'm
steal you from
the best
top,
independent contractor. I just,
Yeah.
I show up, I do what needs to be done. Don't put me on a schedule and reward me, and I'll just do whatever you want,
Yeah.
because that's what I want to do. I want to serve. I want to help. And do a good job at the same time. I'm like a golden retriever. I just want to be a good boy.
Throw something.
I love that.
Well, we just talked about this earlier. Is about the Gen Zers and people have all the expectations that you have, but don't want to put in the work when they need to. They're not going to put in the 23 hours that you did.
I want to say that people say to me now, they see they're like, must be nice. And I just look at them and I go, no,
You're
I
one of
don't.
these.
I don't. And I don't get upset because I know it is. But I say to them, I'm like, it is. It's very nice. But you don't know what I was doing for 10 years to be here. Right. I didn't surf for 10 years. I wasn't at the beach for 10 years. I was in St. Louis, Missouri during COVID. Airports are shut down and I'm out there by myself doing a field repair. Just because also you could hire someone to do that as my company, but it's way cheaper for me to get on a plane, go to United Rentals, pick up a welder and go to the field,
It's crazy how many people say it must be nice because they never know what you went through. But
Right.
the one thing you know that you could challenge them to is that you more than likely wouldn't do what I did.
No.
You know, and that's what people don't realize. The reward after the sacrifice is so great,
Right.
but people just don't want to put in the sacrifice.
Exactly.
That's why the Audi says, go look outside in the Audi outside, and the front license plate, it says, must be nice.
Yeah. And it is when you hit the gas.
You got to put it on the rear license plate, though, so people can read it. Who's reading your front license plate? Unless
I'm going to get
backwards.
pulled over way too much.
No, you won't.
The back license plate, if I replace
Yeah.
it? Oh, no, no,
no.
it just reads.
Oh.
It's not a...
Oh, you should get the
I tried.
like the banner or something. Get the banner that goes around it. You know what I'm saying? Get
Yeah.
one made that says it must be nice.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
And then the
Unless it's
logos-
backwards, nobody can fucking
my
read
phone.
it.
Where's
anyway.
Amazon?
Have must be nice on top, and then like Intrepidus Podcast, your business, all that stuff below it.
Intrepidus Podcast,
Yeah.
we could put on there too.
Free marketing.
Yeah, Intrepidus
Well, you
Podcast.
got to pay for it. But.
It's good.
Back in the day, I used
Yeah.
to have on my license plates, whatever license. I used to get custom license plates made. Like I had an entrepreneur license plate for Jersey. I was in a business that cost like $500 to start. I said my license plate said only $4.99. I had a license plate that said "Why work." I had a license plate that said "Don't work." Now I have like Snow Cash. People think I'm a coke dealer. I have white gold. I have black ice. But I used to have the banner, like the plate cover, and it used to say entrepreneur, and I would have my phone number because I was always driving nice cars. S55 AMG. I was in my 20s at Escalades, and people were always like, "Oh man, nice car." Bro, you know how many people called me off my license plate thing?
Did they?
Oh yeah.
To say what?
Like, what is it that you do?
Oh, really?
That's how naive.
Love that.
That's how like innocent I am. When you said snow for cat or cash for snow, like I know that you do snow removal and stuff like your businesses, and I that's just what I thought. I didn't even think the other thing.
Yeah, because people don't know because it says Snow Cash, and then my one truck says white gold.
White gold, they
You
definitely.
know, people are like, "Well, yeah, I'm a coke dealer."
That's awesome.
So tell us a little bit about your friend's father. I think it's important because I think if you didn't have him, I don't know if your life would be where it is today.
No, it definitely 100% wouldn't.
And the impact he had on you. You said he spoke at your wedding and all that, so you guys are
Yeah.
super close. Just talk to people, whoever's listening. I think it's important to know that there are people out there who want to help you. I think so many people live in this place where you didn't have a dad, single mom. You could have felt sorry for yourself. Someone wanted to help you. No. Like, and your ego is so big. It's like, I got this. I'm going to take care of my own. But you actually let somebody step into your world and guide you.
Yep.
And just talk about how different your life was when this man entered your life. And we all know what has been the outcome of that. But where do you think life would be if he never entered your world?
It's really hard to say. I always think like good people attract good people. So if you just try to be a good person, like you're going to meet other good people around you, I think that's part of it. Since I've been young, people know me and they just know me as like the kid that was always smiling, like even you have plenty of reasons not to smile all the time, but just always remember like you're way better off than a lot. Even no matter how bad you might have it, you're probably still better off than a lot, Yeah. I think that's like important for people to think about, like, and bring into perspective, especially when you're feeling down and stuff like that. But without him, like I said, it's hard to know where I would be. He's definitely like my life could have gone so many different ways,
Were you a bad kid?
No, never a bad kid. Like I was telling before we started on this, I had a full ride to Stevens to be an engineer. And like I was very intelligent. I just wasn't smart. And I just like kind of drank it away. And it was going into sophomore year and I'm borderline failing out. And they called my mom into the office and she had no clue what was going on. She's like, how's school going? I'm like, great, awesome. It's great. She comes and they're like, yeah, your son's failing out. And she's like, what? And I'm standing there. I'm like, yeah, I was sick for a little while. I didn't go to class. And so then I switched to business and finished with business degree. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would have finished my engineering degree because I had to. Like I knew in college that I'm like, Mom, why do I have to go to college? I'm just going to work for him anyway, Mm-hmm. And she's like, you need to finish your degree. What happens if you get in a fight and you don't work there anymore? I'm like, That's a good question, you know? But, yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah, of course.
Have you spoken to your real dad ever again?
Yeah, I got a good one for you.
Oh, let's go.
As soon as I had my son, I found out my father was back in, well, before I had my son, I found out my father was back in the United States. I saw him, my grandmother passed away. They're up in Jersey City. So I went to my grandmother's funeral. I saw him. I knew he was back. Didn't really, just like, hey, what's up? And I had my son, and I called him, and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know you're a grandfather now. So, like, whatever you want to do is up to you, but I just want to let you know. Calls my kids, like, twice a week. FaceTimes them twice a week.
Shit.
Like, they go up and see him. Not, like, with me, obviously. I don't. But he comes down and sees them, so.
Do you have a relationship with your dad now?
Yeah.
Wait, he ran off to Greece because he's Greek?
He is Greek. Yeah,
I
he was
can't
born
trust
in
them
Greece.
He probably had a girlfriend
Yeah.
after that. That's how the Greeks work. He
Yeah.
probably ran out for another girl. That's how the Greeks work, right?
Can't
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
You know how many times I hear with the Greek guys, like they got a girl back home and they leave their family? Or they come here, or they're in Greece and they have a girl here and they come here?
Yeah, but the kids love him. So, and you know, like my parents got divorced, and that was the main reason for him leaving. I think was like money and child support and stuff. And the way I like put it into perspective was like people like, react the best way that they think, like the way that they think is best in the situation and circumstances. They do the best that they can and what they think is right. So maybe he like felt that all this pressure and just knew Greece was like comfortable and it wouldn't be so bad. So he might.
Did you resent him for leaving?
At first I did. Yeah. When I was a kid, I definitely did. And I remember I was through my old boss, he was really close with Catholic priests who were around his age. They were all really good friends. So I was like exposed to that too. And I could talk to these guys. And he's like, just forgive. Like Jesus says forgive. And I'm like, I'll never be able to forgive him. And then I had my kid and I called the priest. I was like, hey, you know what happened? I called my dad. I said, your grandpa.
But it's crazy.
shit.
Like, if his dad never left, he would have never had the opportunities that he had. He wouldn't be in a position he is today.
Yeah.
Now he's able to reunite with his dad, have a relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just crazy. Like,
And that's one thing too that I want. And like part of forgiving was like, even when people don't do the right thing, you can still learn something from someone all the time. You can learn just as much from watching the dude who's sleeping on the sidewalk as you can learning from the richest guy, like someone like Donald Trump or something. You can learn just as much from both parties. You can learn right. You can learn wrong. You don't know what the guy on the street's been through. Maybe he's like, just didn't want to deal with it anymore and was this like huge, you know? But I always said like, you can learn something from someone. And what can I learn from my father? One, I learned what not to do, learn the father to be. But two, he's like a cockroach, man. Like you can back him into a corner and he'll always find a hole to get out and he'll come back bigger, like grown, like where'd he go eat all that food, you know?
yeah.
Because
You're awfully forgiven.
he's back here.
That's
he owns
important, bro.
Yeah.
No, it is. Yeah. It's,
You know,
so
and
nonchalant
I
about
tell a lot of people too, like that's a lot of things in business too, is that people, you know, resent on things and they try to rebel on things versus just let go of it, repent on it, be done with it.
Yeah, move
And,
forward.
There's nothing you could do about it. And when someone does something bad to us, if we carry it on, we are the ones who actually suffer. That person's not suffering because they're not thinking about it.
Yep.
So we're the ones who think about it. So when you actually forgive, and it doesn't, in the Bible, it doesn't talk about forgive and forget. It's just forgive that person. You can't be the judge of them. It is what it is. Go on with yourself.
Yep.
You're always going to know what someone has done or hasn't done to you. But being able to know that, you know, it's not going to bother you. It's not going to hold you down. It's not going to weigh you down is huge. And I think that's what when people actually do that shit, bro, it's huge.
Yeah.
Changes your life. Change your life.
I agree. But my father has his own business. He's a contractor up in North Jersey, New York, kind of all over. They do some stuff in Puerto Rico, but he has his own business, you know?
That's cool. Is he
So-
remarried here?
He is. Yeah, he's remarried. I have a half brother.
Did he ever explain his position?
He may have, or he may have let me just say that stuff and agreed, you know? So, like, I think I kind of hit the nail on the head when I say that.
So I think, so he didn't talk to his dad for a number of years. I didn't talk to my son for a number of years. I think when you reunite, you can't change the past, so you don't want to know about the past, and it's kind of like you don't really talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Because, listen, there's nothing you can do about it, and you're just happy you're in this moment now, and you're here now. And, you know, even like I said, when my son came back, I didn't want to know why he made the decisions he made in the last 4 years, because there's nothing we could do, and it could have upset him.
Right.
And it could have brought him to a place where he's like, hey, I arrived and now you want to put all this on me.
Right.
So same thing with his dad. I would assume like, hey, you have a grandkid, you know, it's time to grow up and move up in life. Like, you know, be a grandpa or don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just giving you the opportunity. And it was more for him and his kids than it was for him because he'd had already grown through life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was 100. It was just for I never. So like, are you Italian?
Yeah.
Italians hold grudges, like notoriously, you know, like I've seen it in my Italian family and like, why are you talking to them? They did this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't want my kids to ever grow up and be like, why did I never get to meet my grandfather? Because I grew up, did not really get to see my father's parents, my grandparents on that side. My mother's mother passed away when my mother was young. And then her dad had left and went to live in Las Vegas when she was young. So like I didn't have grandparents really growing up. We had our great aunts who were amazing, like still a huge Italian family. Everyone's like your aunt and your uncle.
Yeah.
But like we didn't have the actual grandparents, and I didn't want that to be my kids. Like my kids have all of their grandparents. They're all present now, you know, like.
How's your mom and your dad get along now?
They get along. They made amends. They straightened whatever they needed to out. They talk, you know,
awesome.
especially with the kids. If like my mom watches the kids sometimes and he'll call me looking for the kids and I'm like, call my mom, you know, that she has the kids.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
yeah.
Very cool.
Happy for you.
Thank you.
That's it's rare. It's rare to see a circumstance situation like yours.
Yeah.
But yeah, awfully forgiven. And yes, us Italians hold grudges.
He's a stubborn fuck.
Yeah.
Stubborn as fuck.
I
But
know.
here's the thing: it's not for the sake of being stubborn or for the sake of holding a grudge.
It's ingrained in the DNA.
It's definitely that, but it's more so for me. It's like I need to know why, right? I
Yeah.
need to understand the why, so I can understand the
You need
reason,
the closure.
the whole thing.
So
Yeah,
he's not biblical at all, and he hates
No.
when we talk about it. So he doesn't.
You gotta be.
He doesn't. Well, everyone tells him
Yeah.
that, but he doesn't understand that it's not for our understanding.
Trying to be rich actually led me to the Bible. When I was unhappy, I felt like I was working more than I was being paid. And I just like started reading a bunch of books, started reading the Bible a little bit. But I read this book, Joe Gibbs' The Art of Winning or Racing to Win or something like that.
Racing to Win,
Yeah. And that book is amazing. He like kind of the same thing. He was like, I want to be rich and take it into my own hands. I went and tried to do something that really wasn't a good business plan. He lost a lot of money and then ended up back just with God, you know? And
Saturday, I was
like my brother.
Saturday, I was at an event where all the entrepreneurs, Ed Milet was there, a bunch of people were there, and every single one of them talked about their faith. It was a faith-based event.
yeah.
And talked about how when they didn't believe or whatever, you know, whatever it was, and then putting faith into their life, how their entire life changed.
Yep.
You know, but he's very.
You'll get there eventually. You're just
will.
not there
I
yet.
always
You
tell him-
will.
I told him
Never,
it's
probably.
he'll never.
Unfortunately, unfortunately,
But
probably
he
never.
says never. But you know what? It takes
My brother's a born again Christian.
for me.
I said I would never talk to my father again.
You know why? His brother probably pushes it on him or tries to tell
Yeah.
him, and he's like this, right? So when someone throws up on someone, all you want to do is put like a
Right.
mask over them so they stop throwing up.
Yep.
So it's like when your significant
Interesting
other,
visual,
your
huh?
girlfriend or your wife, whatever. It's like when they get excited about something and you're like, oh my god, and you're like, you haven't seen it, and you're like,
Right.
what the fuck are you talking about, right? So when someone's a Christian and you know maybe they come into this life, you know they're so happy about what's going on, they're trying to tell you.
Yeah.
But you have to experience a circumstance in your life that brings you there. So for me, when my son was 18 months old, he fell out of a window 18 feet right to my feet, turned white like that cup, and like, you know, I thought he was dead. So like I was a Catholic. I tell everyone I was a recovering Catholic because all I did was fall asleep there and I didn't understand.
Yep.
Right? So then the only people who were there to, you know, be a part of me and my kid's life at that point were these two guys that I had just met. They were paving contractors and they were, you know, they stood by us for like 3 days, brought us food, did everything. They were Christians. I'm like, hey, you got to come to church, you know? And then I went to a couple churches and people were freaky and I'm like,
No.
I don't know, I can't do this. And then I finally went to a place where like, I just really understood like, yo, this is for real.
Yeah.
You know, and it is a, you know, he says it sometimes like it's a business. Everything's a business.
Everything's a business.
But if a pastor is delivering something right for the right reasons, he's allowed to make money. You know, the Bible talks about prosperity.
Yes.
You know, and that's a big, like, they were talking about that this weekend. It's a big, like, fine line where you got, like, the poor people who think the Bible talks about, like, not being rich, but then the wealthy people who explain how the Bible talks about abundance.
Yep.
You know, so it's a catch-22 because, like, the Catholic Church wants you to feed them. Oh, you have all this money, you should give it to us. versus a Christian church is like, hey, listen, just tithe what you can. You don't have to give it to us. You can give it somewhere else. You can do whatever you want to do. And then it's just a compounding thing that comes back to you. So again, like when you're ready, when that time comes, whatever, if the time comes or it doesn't come, but you have to be ready for it. He was ready for it. I was ready for it.
Yeah.
The people who he had here who fought addiction, they were ready for it. You just have to be ready for it.
And I wouldn't say I'm the most religious. Like, I don't go to church every weekend. I maybe go to a daily mass once every couple months. You know, I got married in the church. That was important to me. Get married in the eyes of God. But yeah, I'm not very good practicing, but I pray. And I think my biggest faith part of it is that I'm grateful for where I am and what I have. Like, my kids are happy and healthy. That's how we always start prayers. Like, thank you for our health. Thank you for our happiness, everything that we have, and how fortunate we are, you know?
You're Catholic then, you said.
Yeah, yeah.
So he just said something that's important. He goes like, I'm not big in religion. So what you actually are is you're a good Christian because religion's man-made. You have a relationship with God because you talk to him. All God wants you to do is have a relationship, you and him. You don't have to go to a place. You don't have to be anywhere. He just wants you to talk to him, and that's it. So that's something important for you to understand, that like you don't have to go to mass. You don't have to go to a church.
Yep.
Your church is in your house. You and your kids are praying. You're doing something together, and you're inviting God into your house. Like, that is what he wants you to do.
Who knew this is where this would go?
Dude, it always goes this way.
And
he goes, here we go again.
It's always somebody trying to
Come on, there's a common denominator
Bro,
here.
99%. We haven't had one atheist here yet.
Yeah.
That's not true.
We did?
Yeah.
Who?
Brick by Brick definitely was an atheist.
No.
He was definitely an atheist. Come on.
No way.
100%.
I don't know. But again, it's, listen, at the end of the day, it's like anything else. You can't, like, your guy can't force you to be a business owner.
Right.
You got to be ready. You might be ready when you're 50.
Right.
He hears it, he gets it, but it's never going to comprehend with him until the time is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be going to a bunch of services this upcoming weekend because that's what my brother does. So, like, I attend, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's
But he's your brother.
He's
That's
Christian,
different,
though.
Well, Christian, everyone's Christian.
Yeah.
But then there's like
The faith in Christ.
The faith in Christ is Christianity.
Yeah.
But then Catholic is a organization created in religion, right? So, but listening to your brother is difficult because why? You grew up with your brother, you know all his faults, you know everything he did. Now all of a sudden he's a preacher. You're like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I know exactly what you're thinking, but you know what I mean? Like, this is what people don't understand.
It's also the time in which he found God, which is like it was just at the lowest.
The
And
rock
I feel
bottom.
I feel like everybody finds it because they're searching for something and they're so, no disrespect, desperate at that time that they'll take anything. And then that allows them to kind of open up their mind to the idea of
But what if, like,
Christ.
I found what I found first with, like, work and all this and this success, and now I'm grateful for that. So I didn't find him when I was in my lowest, and I really wanted it. I found him, like, on the come up.
You're the
you know?
minority. You're the
Yeah.
minority. And you're also Catholic. Like,
Yeah.
Christians specifically find Christ at their absolute worst moment.
That's why it's the born again, right?
Correct.
That's,
Yeah.
but you know what?
So, like,
you know
so
what that
for
actually
me, like,
means, though?
what?
When you're born again, because like your guys are Catholic, I'm born Catholic, and you're
I'm born
brought,
Catholic too,
Yeah, but
yeah.
you're brought into a church and you have no idea what's going on. This is just tradition you have to follow and the way you have to follow. Born again just means that you've actually in your life, no matter your age, you've accepted Christ.
We re-accepted Christ.
Not
Right.
re-accepted Christ. It's the actual only time in your life you've accepted Christ. Because if your mom made you go to church, made you go to Catholic school, you didn't do it on your own free will.
But I accepted the body of Christ.
Yeah, because you ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't understand what you
I
were
did
doing.
confirmation. I did community
but
confirmation.
again, all man-made stuff. That's not what the Bible talks about. In the Bible, it talks about when you come to me, you are born again. You are a new person with me. And again, like you should chat GPT scripture about the things that you're confused about, and it will really explain it to you. Because again, you look at your brother when he's at rock bottom, you look at other people, but your understanding is way off because of how you were brought up. I went to Catholic school. My mom is a fucking diehard Catholic, bro. She's crazy. And I can't even have a conversation with her because, again, the devil, hell, it's all a totally different. They take parts of the Bible and try to make you preach it. They don't take the entire Bible and make you understand it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm okay with Christianity, right? My brother's. I appreciate the Christian culture.
Yep.
Because that's what it is. It's a culture, and like that's why I'll sit there, but I won't go to fucking mass. I won't sit there.
You don't have to.
And
you don't
get
have
sprayed
to.
with holy water.
Like I said,
won't do it.
I don't.
But
They don't spray with holy water at your brother's place.
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like a mass, like an actual like Christian church,
Yeah.
Catholic church, Catholic church. I'm sorry, but I'll sit there and listen to those because they talk real life shit.
Yeah.
And I get it, and I'm like, oh boy, I'd go watch this guy, go listen to this guy, sure,
Yeah.
all day. But I'm not gonna change who I. And this we've had this conversation way too much. But I for me, it's like so I'll talk to you. For me, I'm not gonna change who I am and stop doing the certain things that I do because maybe Christ wouldn't like it, right? And that's where I fall off.
But that's why you're allowed to be a sinner. We're all allowed to
we're
sin.
all sinners, bro. We're gonna sin for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And that's just what you don't understand. Because again,
He doesn't care that
if
you're
you're a
doing
Catholic and you do bad, you're going to hell. See, again, this is the way you're brought up, and all the things that you're taught is what you believe. You don't
Yeah.
understand. We will sin every single day for the rest of our lives. But Jesus died on the cross for our
Right,
sins that
that's
we
why-
committed and we're going to commit. Listen, why do people come out of prison and become successful, find Christ? They're forgiven. They're not forgiven by maybe the person they almost killed or whatever, and everyone else looks at them a certain way, but they are not right to judge.
Right.
So again, like you are going to sin, I'm going to sin. We sin every day of our life, and we're going to do it. There is no perfect person in this world.
From my understanding, though, as long as I accept Christ as my Lord and Savior right before I die, I will go to heaven.
You're good.
That's true, but not true. Because
So,
you
that's
got.
how I understand it, because I've been told now numerous times.
Yeah,
So,
yes, you can
on
do
my
that.
You're just
deathbed-
waiting.
But you have,
on my deathbed, I will be accepting.
but you have to accept him with all your heart. You can't just accept him because you want to go.
Right.
sin.
When I'm dying,
Right.
I'm sure I'll accept him with all my heart. For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I seen him.
So I agree with that.
But that was important too that I want to touch on is I don't judge anyone. I won't. I'm not there to judge. That's not
Same.
my job. And I have my own faults and I don't care. And a really important lesson I learned from one of my customers, actually down Monmouth Road in Jobstown. Great guy, awesome guy, just kind of over the top sometimes, but incredible. And one thing he always taught me was only the spoon knows what's inside the bowl. And I use that all the time because when you see me, if you saw me on the sidewalk like this, you wouldn't know that I've done anything that I've done, or you probably just, look at this surfer bum. Only the spoon knows what's inside the bowl, and that's why I do this, because I just want to keep it like this. I don't want anyone thinking anything less or more of me. I'm just me,
I'm the
this is
same
it.
way. People have no idea what I do. I don't dress up. I
Yeah.
don't care. I go
Yeah.
places.
Yeah,
Guys are
actually.
wearing Louis Vuitton loafers. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm good with my
Yeah.
hey dudes. You know what I mean?
My father got me a really good Rolex knockoff for Easter last year, and I wore it to a wedding, and everyone was talking about it. I took it. I was like, "This is way too uncomfortable." Just
nice Rolex.
yeah,
no one
yeah.
fucking knows either. Anyway.
yeah,
Sell that shit.
yeah. I did. I was like, "Yeah, you want one? I'll get you one."
That's so funny. And that's what a lot of people don't understand either. Super wealthy people, don't buy expensive things. They will buy the knockoff of them.
Yeah.
Just because they're smarter with their money.
Yep.
Half these guys wearing loafers, they're not real loafers. Half these guys with watches on, they're not real watches. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the only thing you can't duplicate is a car because whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, all this other stuff, dude. And you can go to Macy's or Nordstrom and buy a suit, but I can get a tailor to make me a custom suit for a third of the price.
Yep.
And this is what people understand. We're smart with our money and we understand the concept of where it goes, but broke people want to, go out there and get this watch that costs 18 grand.
Yeah.
But got no money in the bank. I'll just find one that costs 1,800. It looks just like it.
Especially being connected in the surf industry. I got connected in dirt bikes and stuff like that. I just got into a habit of not paying full price for anything. And if I have to pay full price, it better be a really good product or something that I really want, because I'm going to try and find it cheaper or just not,
Yeah, so I'm with podcasts now. I get people who send me clothes and do stuff. I don't even gotta buy clothes no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the best.
I have literally a whole stack of clothes over there, everything, and I just get shirts and
Except
everyone's
shoes. You need your shoe
I
collection.
buy my sneakers. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I won't pay more than $120 for a pair of sneakers. Some people are buying. I went to a store with my kids in
Yeezys,
Cali, fucking $400, $800 for a pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
I said, "You're out of your fucking mind."
I got these on clearance. They were 50% off of sticker price.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
I only buy
And I
shoes
only
on
wear
clearance
them.
now.
They're this is my nice sneakers. I dressed up for you guys.
My nice sneakers. Wow, well
With a little
done.
stain on his t-shirt.
Yeah, I might have
board
hit
shorts,
something
nice
in the
sneakers.
car on the way here. Sorry.
Fantastic.
All right, so it was awesome having you out here. If anyone wants to connect with you, maybe for your YouTube, for your dirt biking, just to know who you are, where can they find you?
YouTube, it's at World of Surf. It's the World of Surf review channel, and it's crazy actually. Like 35% of my audience is in the U.S. The rest is abroad, that's why I renamed it World of Surf.
It's ours too, right? We don't even understand. Like our viewers are
So many
portioned
viewers
in the
in
the
U.S. and they're
country.
everywhere, bro.
Yep. Instagram at blue_collar_films. That's like the OG. That's my personal
That's pretty cool.
Instagram. And then I've even forget what the Instagram for the YouTube is. I think it's like World of Surf _YT for YouTube, I think.
Just send it to us.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We'll put it in the caption.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm so bad with Instagram. Like that's like I should be really better for marketing and stuff like that, like I said. But it's hard to make a YouTube video
Yeah, it
from
is.
start to finish. It's
100%.
like yeah.
So it was a pleasure having you out here.
Yeah, huge thanks, guys.
And
nice having you, bro.
guys, if you're not following us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, go ahead and do so.
Like and share. Thanks, guys.